speaker on my left hand, Hervé Rannou from Items, one of our organizers. And Citizen Data will tell us more about data and open data and big data, what, as many times is told, the fuel of our smart city services. And I think a lot of trust aspects are also related to our data and who's owning them. So, Hervé, up to you.
Thank you, Hugo. And yes, so I run Items, and I'm a co-founder of Citizen Data. Citizen Data is a startup focused on data coming from sensors and Internet of Things, and which require specific technology. I think there is a lot of confusion about what is big data, but in some case it's just an improvement of data mining, and we think that Internet of Things and sensor require very specific technologies. That's what we have developed with Citizen Data. And smart city is one of our main focus, and we think there is a kind of ambiguity sometimes in the cities between open data, and I think the city has a quite clear view of what is open data, but not a real clear view of what is big data. And actually, everybody understands the open data. It's as the data the city or actor or players we are running or operating public services. They could open a part of the data. But what is the big data is more maybe complex, and but we think that's the future, and we think that's the main issue for the next year in the city. Today, legacy data in ERP database that represent quite between 95 and 99% of data in the city, when what is supposed to be open data represent maybe 1% to 5% in the city. And generally these data are static data, just to describe what happened in the city, to describe documents, to describe maybe timetable for transport, but it just static data. And we think that in the future the main issue is big data, and when we refer to big data, it's all this data. When I'm not going to describe all this data, and I'm not going to say that the city is going to manage all this data by themselves, but what we see, what we can assess is there is more and more concern about this kind of data in the city. And if the city does not have the objective to manage the city by itself, or by themselves, the question is, are they going to access to a part of this data? For example, if you take the case of water, some cities manage the water by themselves, or they can decide to ask a third party, to an operator, to manage the water infrastructure. And when they do that, today the operator is going to say, okay, it's not possible to access to the data because of privacy issue, because it's a business data, and you are not. We don't have any reason to give you the access to the data, and the situation is going to change. And today, local authorities, they ask to have access to the data. In some countries, for example, the local authorities, they invest in the electric infrastructure, and this network electrical network is operated by a third party, and the city cannot access to the data. In a way, we can understand that because there is no reason to access to some of this data. But the city today asks to understand some details about the investment, for example, because they pay for the infrastructure. So they need to understand what's the infrastructure, the detail of the infrastructure they have invested in. Or they want to have more information about the quality of service. And so they know today that the information exists, and they ask for the data. That's the same situation in transport. In transport, more and more, the city wants to have detail of the data. In US, some cities have decided to issue a decree to have access to the data, or to let researchers to have access to the data, because obviously there are privacy issue, and we have to take care of this issue, of this potential problem. But globally, that's all this data at the end are going to concern the city, and we think that's a major problem, a major issue for the city in the future. More it is the case with open data. Open data is static data when big data are dynamic. The objective with information for open data, when for big data, is the quality of service, monitoring, and so on. So you have a difference. We think the complexity is totally different. Another interesting issue is the cost. Because there is no economic model or sustainable economic model in open data. But there is a sustainable if the city decide to pay for it. But there is no economic model by saying, okay, a lot of local companies are going to use the open data and they are making business with that. All analysis, all studies about that, they demonstrate there is no business model for that. There is a business model with big data. Because with big data, you are going to provide, analyze, you are going to correlate data between one sector or one silo to another silo. There is a value add. And the trend, obviously, is a transfer between what is big data and what is open data. But the point is, we consider that when the big data is the issue, the objective obviously is not to open big data. The big data is the whole data existing in the city, and that's a big concern again for the city. But there is another question, which is the difference when you have understood what is big data for the city, is the governance of this data. And the decision you have to take, okay, we are going to open this data or not this one. And the problem sometimes with the open data, there is a confusion between the data the city would like to access and the data the city would like to open. And it's not at all the same. And we think that the city have to consider that point. And at the end, I will say that one of the issues we are going to discuss and to study in a new European project. We have been selected with a project led by the University of Aalto here in Finland, with Helsinki, Lyon, and Brussels. And I think it's going to be a very interesting project to study all these issues. Thank you.